everyone, I'm Madalyn Sklar, host of the Social ROI Chat. We had an awesome one today, and I'm here with our guest, Kellyanne Collins. Kelly, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am so great. You were awesome today, and I know you had some challenges because you are doing the chat remotely today because you were saying you had some storms, right? Isn't that what you were tweeting right before?
Right. I know. 20 minutes before the chat, my internet went out. My backup internet went out. My phone hotspot wouldn't work.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
and most of the Starbucks are closed today. So I couldn't find one. And then I was like, wait, there's a Target. I was like, so I'm at Target, but they have a coffee place here. So here I
Well,
am.
this worked out great. Like you were just crushing it on the chat today.
Oh,
You were
yay.
just on fire. The questions were great. The answers were great. So, what I want to do is just go through some of this. We'll keep it brief, since you've had quite an afternoon dealing with the storms and internet. Today's topic, is sprucing up your social media presence with tools and tips. And this was a really great chat. I really enjoyed these questions and your responses to them. So what we'll do here is go through a couple of these questions and get your more long-winded response because, with Twitter, it's a little bit short. Even though we're now at 280 characters, it's better than the 140. So, but this will be nice with video that you can actually talk about your answers. But before we dive in, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. I'm a social media expert. I guess you could call me that, right? Previously, I was a journalist and blogger. Then I rolled into social media. It seems like a natural transition, right?
Yeah.
So, after the blogging and the journalism, I started helping others with their blogging and social media. And now I run a social media company, and our clients work in about more than 50 countries, which is kind of unbelievable when it comes out. Wow. But yeah, so we work with celebrities, NGOs, big brands. Yeah. So.
That's awesome. That is amazing. So how long have you been doing social media as a company, as a business?
Well, I was one of the first bloggers ever to, someone to go on and blog about myself, which
that's cool.
And so I kind of feel like I've been doing it forever since the 90s, I think, because, back then the social media part was in the comments. So right. Now we have Twitter and, it's very similar to me, but as a business and with this company, 4 years.
That is awesome. Interesting how you're saying with blogging and with comments. I had Mike Stelzner on my podcast, my Twitter Smarter podcast a few years ago. And he talked about how before social media, that was how you did engagement was commenting, but then you could do real-time commenting and have people come together on blogs and just, have a conversation revolving around that, which I think is so interesting how everything has evolved to where we're at today and how we're on Twitter. Yeah, and doing a Twitter chat live, it's just so interesting. Well, thanks for sharing your background and how you got to where you are today. I want to start with question number one, because I really like this question. We spent a lot of time on this one today because there's so much to talk about with it. And that is, there are billions of people on social media. What tips and tools are available for optimizing your bio?
Okay. The first thing I always tell people is, you want to tell people who you are. I think sometimes people make a mistake and they don't tell people who they are because they think they're super popular already. But even if you have 5,000 followers, there are still millions of people out there who are going to come across your account and they're just not going to know who you are. So you want to tell people who you are, just something short. I always like to make it fun, because I feel like social media is it's like walking into a party or walking into someone's business, So the best tips are, tell people who you are, keep it short, put in a fact about yourself, and then don't just use the link in your bio. You can always add another link too if you want to link out to a couple more places or another network.
Yeah, and you're using Linktree, I noticed, for that. Can you tell everybody what that's all about? Because that's really an interesting way to do this.
Yeah. So I love Linktree, and I always tell people use it because, you know, we all have blogs and podcasts and websites. So if you use Linktree, you just log into it through Instagram, and then you can have a URL that points to all your links. So you can put all your other social channels on there, and you know, it takes that one link. I mean, you could put up a web page and do that, but Linktree just makes it really easy.
Yeah. I just started playing around with it. I'm noticing more and more people are using it, especially because with Instagram, you can only have one URL to a web address. And what a neat way to be able to have people see everything on one page. I think that's super cool. So I think when it comes to our bios, this is a great way to share a lot of information about ourselves.
Right. I like it too because you can move the links around because maybe you have a new blog or something you want to feature, move it to the top, or you can just turn them off. So maybe you have something you don't want to show. You can turn it off, but keep it in there, maybe turn it back on later. So
yeah. Very cool. Question number 2, I thought this was also a really awesome question. What does it mean to create a theme for your account, and how can marketers research and achieve this?
Now with themes, I know that some people see it one way or another. You know, they think it's about the colors and everything. But when I think about it, I start with, okay, what are our content targets or content themes? So, you know, maybe you love coffee, you love social media. I'm describing myself right now. and you love cats. Okay. So I'm like, okay, my themes are going to be social media, cats, and coffee, right? Because who doesn't like coffee and cats, right? And so and then those are kind of like my content themes. And then you're going to search for other people that love those things. And you're going to just do a lot of research and find out, you know, how am I going to find those or how are those people going to find me is a better way to describe it. Right. And then you work your content that you're putting out on a weekly basis around that. And then after I have that, then I work on everything else. Because like maybe my cover image is going to be cats and coffee or something, you know. But I look at the visuals as secondary. And I think, you know, you always need to target your audience first.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, and definitely interesting in how, you know, how some people look at themes as colors and just the layout and stuff. And I like your approach of how you're talking about this. And, you know, we were talking quite a bit about Managed Flitter, the tool itself during the chat. I noticed you're a big fan because you were bringing it up quite a bit. And in relation to what you were just talking about, like with searches, you know, they got that power mode, which just is mind blowing to me. So that if I was searching for people who like coffee, who like cats, trying to find like-minded people, that to me has been one of the best tools for doing those types of searches.
Yeah, because you can even look for people mentioning coffee in their bios. So, you know, this person really, really loves coffee, right? If they're putting it in their bio. So if you're selling coffee, you want those people.
Absolutely. All right. So, so question number 3, what tips and tricks do you have for marketers who are switching themes and or content strategies?
You know, this happens sometimes when maybe a company changes direction or something, or I like to give the example of mine because I used to run a pop blog and I had a lot of Justin Bieber fans, right? Yeah. So I still have a lot of Justin Bieber fans, but I was thinking, okay, if I want people to take me seriously, I need to start talking about my work, you know, more marketing, more social media. So I just started kind of blending that together, you know, and so maybe putting a fact in about social media, but then with a Justin Bieber meme, you know, and thinking, okay, how many of these people actually like marketing that are also Justin Bieber fans? And really everyone's trying to grow their social media. Even if you're 13 years old, you know, everyone wants more followers. So I try to find ways to blend the old with the new. And then if you really have to step away from the old, I just gradually step back.
Yeah.
If it's something you have to do super fast, though, I mean, you can do an abrupt change. But the thing is you're just going to lose followers.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because people are going to be like, what's up with her? Where's the fever?
Exactly. What happened?
Yeah. But, advertising can help. But yeah, I like to think of creative ways to kind of like take the old and the new, blend them together, and then like step back. Just so there's not like so I don't have a client that's like, why did we just lose 300 followers last week?
Right. And when it comes to doing advertising, do you have some suggestions of like, what would be some good ways to do the advertising?
Yeah, I would target the ads toward, the people that you want to reach, so if you're selling cars now, just, target your ads to those people. And, and then the great thing with Managed Flitter, and I'm not even saying this because we're talking on here, but like, it's great because you can, target people that are following your competitors' audiences. So It's a great alternative to advertising.
It really is. And I have found it to be super helpful, with the work I do. And, it's just such an invaluable tool, and being able to gather all that data. So I totally agree with you. Yeah. Let's just do one more question. We'll keep it really brief since, you've had quite the day with the power and storms and stuff. Hey, we just went through having that here. I live in Houston, and a few nights ago, huge storm, exactly what you're talking about. Huge storm blew through, lost my electricity for 2 hours. So I understand what you're going through.
It's scary. It's gone now. But it's just now like the aftermath.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you like still making the chat work for you under the conditions. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Question number 4 was also really awesome. And I love talking about this particular topic. Marketers need to find a balance between posting promotional and non-promotional content. This is something that gets brought up a lot. What are your tips or tools that can help marketers get this right?
Yeah, this is one of those things that drives me crazy. Because sometimes you have people and they want to promote. But the thing is, you just can't do that. And, when you have a social media presence, people who follow you, I mean, they know who you are because they've already read your bio because it's optimized and they know what you do. So, right. I mean, really the idea is just, staying in their view, adding value, giving them information that they can use instead of buy from me, because people are going to unfollow, they're not going to follow you if you're constantly trying to sell something. So one easy thing I talk about is, just like the 80-20 rule, which is for every 4 fun or, interesting, valuable things that you post, then you can be like, buy from me. But really, like on a lot of the accounts, I don't even like to do it that often, because I think, like, even with mine, I don't think I have ever, well, maybe I have before, but like I rarely ever say that. But I get people contacting me through social media all the time wanting help because they just know what I do. And they're like, oh, there's Kelly. She's up. Wait, I need help with this. So,
yeah. Right. Well, and I totally agree. I mean, I think if you just are of service and you're helpful, you really don't have to. I mean, there's no need to be pushy and ultra salesy on social media because you're right. I mean, people are not going to follow you. They're going to look at that and go, not interested. And I'm so glad that the auto DMs are gone now on Twitter because, there was a lot of spam with that. A lot of people being pushy, people you don't know contacting you saying, buy my book. I had a lot of that. Buy my book. And it's like, but I don't know you. Why should I buy your book? I
know. And it's bad now on some other channels because they can get your email from one. I won't name it, but I won't name the channel. I get so much spam, from just, where people can like hack and pull your info. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, really, it's like I always say social media is like walking into a party. You don't want to go up to people and be like, hey, buy from me now.
Exactly. Because we would never do that in real life. You would not go up to someone in person and do that, yet people feel like it's okay to do on social media. So I totally agree with the 80-20 rule. I think, but also you experiment, and maybe it should be 90-10 for, you have to see what's that right mix. Gary Vaynerchuk had that really good book years back called Jab, 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 Right Hook that was all about, not to be too salesy, be a giver. And I think that's a good way to close out this little chat today, talking about that. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for spending it with us. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Oh, Twitter, anywhere. I'm basically everywhere. It's CAC pretty much everywhere.
How do you come up with that? Is that your initials, or what is it?
I mean, KAC. Yeah. People started calling me CAC, so it's kind of a nickname because of my initials. So I just wanted a short name, so it's CAC. It used to be Kellyanne Collins, which was really long. So I changed it. Yeah. But I had a lot of fun today. Thank you. It was just
this was fun.
And there was a lot of great information coming, from all the participants.
We have an amazing community. I am just so blown away by our participants that come each week. This community has really grown, and they just had lots to share alongside with all of your answers. So it was a wonderful experience. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll be back next week with another great chat. So until then, I'll see everybody out on Twitter. Bye for now.
Bye.